Good morning. Welcome to Prosperity Trade. We're here live. Just wanted to go over CARA at this time. It's currently up to $14.69. No news has come out yet. So we had initially set a price target of 14.80. But it is up. It's close to our target of 14.80. Currently up $674. You see here, 674. This is for the trade that we got in a couple weeks ago at 12.20 with a price target of 14.80. It's currently at 14.70. And this is our news scanner. So haven't seen news yet. No news yet on CARA, but it is up. Currently at 14.54, 14.69. So it's close to our price target. Just waiting on the news, and up $677. This was on the small 290 share trade that we took. So do a new search here. Type in CARA. And no news yet. So it's already popping without news. Could take profit now. I'm up $677, you see here. And that was with only 290 shares. So we did this video a few weeks ago at 220. It was trading at 12.20. We set a price target of 14.80. It's currently at 14.69, and the news hasn't come out yet. News generally comes out every 30 minutes, so it's 6:18. At 6:30, there'll be another round of news coming out. The TRL is up 191%. Well, went up from $6 to $17. What was the news? Oh, they're going to be bought out by Pfizer. It's a buyout. That's why it spiked. DNMR, yeah, they had good earnings, uh, but it hasn't performed that greatly. Let's see where it's at right now. At 1540. That news was I mean, that ticker was a little bit of a disappointment. Mm. Last news was August 17th. Let's see. Did a good recovery from the lows, 14. But I think I made the video around here somewhere, and it's just been going down since. It's had some recent good news, recent good earnings. So hopefully that'll turn things around. The biggest thing with this company is that lawsuit that's hovering it. They have the lawsuit, and pretty much biggest problem. So CARA again, we did this video about 3 weeks ago, went live. So it's still waiting for news on CARA. currently up $706 on the since the alert that we made. It's trading at 1468. We set a price target at 1480. Got in around 1220 when we made the initial video. So, I mean, that's a pretty good spike right now. It's 10 cents away from the target price that we set, and they haven't even done their news press release. Pre-market, the way news press release works, it's basically every 30 minutes. So at 6 a.m. they had news press release, and they announced a bunch of stuff. So this is at 7 a.m., but it's 6 a.m. Eastern. And then at 7:30, you'll see here, sometimes there's random stuff, but at 7:30, you'll see a whole bunch of news releases. And then at 8, there'll be a bunch of news releases. So usually every 30 minutes, there's the news releases. And I kind of anticipate them having a positive news release, or else it would have not been up. It's up 7% pre-market, 1468. Semi hit your stop loss. Oh, sorry to hear that. I don't know if you watched my video. Let me see if I put a stop loss for you guys in the video when I did it initially. But I do remember it dropped. Yeah, the stop loss that we sent was kind of 11 something was the stop loss that I had set for this one when I made the video. And that's why I took a small position of 290 shares. 290 shares, with a stop loss that I set of 11 something. I said it was a low risk play. Got it, Sammy. Were you green on your trade, at least, or we got in a really, really good position when we made the initial video. We caught it right at when it was reversing. We made the video August. Let's see, I think it was August 4th or 5th, around here, or somewhere in here. Okay. Yeah, so we initially made the video here around 12:20 when it was trading here, and it's been on an uptrend. And I'm assuming you sold on this day. It had like a big drop here. It was all the way up to 1406, and then it dropped all the way down to 1250 or 1240. I'm assuming that's when you sold during that. And I understand that, we kind of got in here, spiked up all the way to 14, then just in one day had like a big drop. And the reason it had that big drop, it was a news article about potential bad earnings. So I held through that. I actually, got close to selling that day too. I'm definitely not gonna lie, because I was up over $500, and then it dropped all the way down to 12 something, and I was up only 60 something dollars. But at that point, I was just like, why just take a $60 profit? Just hold on. It hasn't dropped past support. And with swing trading, that's kind of what you do. You look at past support. So I was looking, around here. I said, okay, you see here, it bounced here in the past, bounced there again. So it kept bouncing off that 1170 area, and it wasn't even close to the support, but it's at 14.70 now. It's about 10 cents away from the price target. All right, take care, Semi. Want to see if it reaches price target. So you got some green tickets, some people buying. You got some news coming out. You see the time, 6:30, 7:30 Eastern, and you got news coming out. That's when the news press, they release news press. So waiting to see if anything CARA's finally released. If it's not released now, then probably 7 a.m. they'll probably go back to it. But let's see, VVOS got a good news release. That's why a lot of people like trading the pre-market. You kind of catch this news early. See, just came out with a news release, VVOS 4, then spiked up to 40.80, which is good opportunity to, even if you catch 50 cents, 30 cents, which is what a day trader usually does, tries to go for, with a couple thousand shares, you just made a quick few $100s pre-market. But no news again on CARA. We're watching CARA mainly. But this is how people build watch lists. So they kind of see these news and they would click on it, and you could kind of build a plan. Have like some people go pre-market high, which is all the way up here, 1480. If it breaks pre-market high, they'll jump in like during the market hours. But VVOS just got news, 501k, 510 clearance for sleep apnea. So that's what's causing that spike. But no changes on CARA. You see here, up $700. $700 is what we're up here so far, and it's at 1468. Made the video. It was trading at 1220. So up over $2.30 in a few weeks, which is great. So, if we would have gotten in, let's say a normal 2,000 share position, would have been up about 4,600. So it's a big difference, but it's okay. I mean, I'm happy with the 700. That was only on a 290 share position. So it was a very small risk. I was only risking a few $100s. I was risking a few $100s. So when I set the price target, it was like 70 cents below where I initially got in, because that's where past support was. So if it would have dropped to 70 cents, you know, that would have been, I guess, about um, $130 or something, 30 or no, $210, $210 loss or something. So I was risking a couple $100 and up 700. So it's good so far. But so no new news on CARA yet. So it's already made a positive move if you look at the chart, and that's without any news. So I'm hoping when the news comes, there'll be another little spike that we can take advantage of. But you see VVOS still moving. See, we talked about VVOS. If it broke the pre-market high of 1480, that would be a jump in for some people. And you see it broke, 480. Broke this 480 here, and now it's all the way up to 530. So this thing is moving. We were just talking about VVOS, and if it broke 480 during the initial spike, some day traders would jump in, and that's exactly what they did. You see here, 480, people jumped in, and it's went as high as 549. Now that's a jump from 80 cents to 549. That's 60 cents. That's a lot of, that's a lot of money. When you're day trading, usually you jump in with 1,000, 2,000 shares. So if it spikes up 60 cents, 2,000 shares, you're talking about a quick $1,200 within a few minutes. Oh. So I think we're going to end it here. Probably at 7 a.m. There'll be another set of news flashes. So you can just keep an eye on that. But basically, right now, if you got in at 1220, you should be up quite a bit, over $2. And you can just kind of keep looking for news. Once the news flash comes, there's gonna be another spike. I anticipate there'll be another spike. So it should break the 1480 target area that I set before. And if it drops, if there's bad news, it'll drop pretty quickly, but it'll cut into your profit. But it shouldn't make you red if you got in at 1220 when we first made the initial video. There's a little bit of selling, and that's normal. People are going to take their profit. And you have also usually with day trading, it's kind of like the mob mentality. People go wherever the money's printing. So right now, VVOS is getting a lot of attention. You see here, it has over 940,000 people and increasing. You kind of compare that to some of the other stocks. So this is where everybody's going right now. Everybody's going to VVOS, and some people sell their current positions to try to jump in that. Let's see, VVOS. It's trading at 542 now. Over a million people just within a few minutes. So they made that news announcement 7:30, which was about 10 minutes ago. And this live stream. I mean, you got to pay for this. This is up to the minute news. But let's say you got in at 7:30. Then this is what day trading is. If you got in at 7:30 when they first made their news announcement, which is right here, it was trading at 4:15. So you would have jumped in somewhere here, 440, 450 if you like the news, and it's currently up 540, up a whole dollar from the initial. This is just from the one news press release. And that's what I was talking about yesterday's video. Usually there's a big spike during the initial news press release. So VVOS, they announced they got FDA or 510K approval for a drug. Here they announced it at 7:30, spiked all the way from 4:15. I'm not trading this, just kind of using it as an example, to 5:30. But that's what kind of waiting for CARA. So CARA again, it's at 464. We set a price target at 1464. We set a price target at 1480. When we initially made the video a few weeks ago, it was at 1220. So it's getting close to the profit target, to the price target that we set. And yeah, that's it. So it was a great trade. I'm going to end it here. It's 6:40 a.m. At 7 a.m., there's going to be another round of news press release. And that's how the news works. Usually every 30 minutes, pre-market companies release news. If you look at here, 7:30, a whole bunch of news released. These are news press releases that companies set off or they release. And pre-market, they do this pretty much every 30 minutes. So VVOS up 40% from its initial news. 7:30 it came out. 10 minutes later, right after that news press release, it went up all the way up to 540. So up over 40% on VVOS. You see this is how people trade pre-market. Buy a scanner like this, you have to pay for it monthly, and it kind of gives you minute to minute news. So at 7:30 with 3 seconds, VVOS made that a news announcement. If you're a day trader, you look at that news announcement, you look at the chart really quickly, and you'll decide if you want to jump in or not. Then if you jump in, it went up 45%. So I was kind of anticipating the same, not 40%, but maybe another 5-10% on CARA. And CARA is actually, without any news yet, it's already up all the way up to 1460. Again, when we did this video, it was trading at 1220, and we set a price target of 1480. So it was 1470, I believe. So it was about 20, it's 10, 20 cents away from the initial price target. And that's without the news press release yet. So you see here, I had 290 share position, 290 shares. I'm up $680. So I took usually I take bigger positions on higher conviction stocks. I'll take maybe 1,000, 2,000 shares. When I made this video, I said I'm only taking a couple hundred because I didn't want to risk more than $200 on this position. So I made the video. It was trading at 12.20. I felt there was support all the way down around 11.50, 11.70 area. So I made the video. I said, okay, I'm buying in at 12.20. If it drops below 11.50, which is a 70-cent drop, that's my stop loss. So my stop loss was 70 cents below my price target. So which is it came out to about $200. So if it would have dropped to my stop loss of 11.50, then I would have lost $200. So that was my risk. My risk was $200. That was a risk that I was comfortable with. But my reward at 14.80 was, going to be seven something. So risking 200 to make 700, and I've made 677. So, I mean, I can almost just close my position now, and it's a great trade. I mean, if I close my position now on a trade where I risked losing $200 and making 700, that's a good risk to reward ratio on a trade. And I thought about closing, but I'm still kind of waiting. They haven't even made their news press release yet. So I thought about closing. Yeah, so still waiting on their news press release. The next set of news would be 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern time. So that's when there'll be more press releases. And I guess I'm just gonna hold the position. So this is really when you're in a swing trade and you have your plan. This is kind of like what they call being in the driver's seat. So we got in at such a good area, and show you the chart here. We made this video. It was trading around down here, and we got in around here. 12.20 is when I made the live video, and it just had a steady climb up. Then they had this big drop here from 1408 all the way to 1260, was because of a bad news press release. Had like a big drop on one day. They announced that I think there was an article on Yahoo Finance stating that they don't believe that CARA's quarterly earnings were going to be that good. So that scared off a lot of investors, dropped down, flushed a lot of people out that were in this trade, and then it made a nice recovery, and it's back close to these highs here. Yeah, so back close to these highs, actually past these. And so I actually at 4:20, I didn't even notice. At 4:20 a.m., it did hit exactly 1480. You see here. Right here at this pre-market, this was early. This was 4:10, 5:10 Eastern. It hit exactly 1480. So I don't really trade that early, but it did hit the price target of 1480 at 5 something in the morning, 4 something in the morning. So I guess I missed that one. So it's six in about 10 minutes. All the companies will do another set of news release. So 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern. Usually you get a good amount, especially 8 a.m., then 8:30, 9 a.m. From this point on, a lot of companies set their news releases. So if this company sets positive news and it's already at 460, it could possibly test that $15 and possibly break the $15, which would be good. But I would be happy also with just 1480. So you see here, pre-market, it hit 1480 pre-market. So it did hit our price target and then hit up here 1470. It's a little sell-off right now. People are just taking profits. Now, so what's happening, like I mentioned earlier, you see VVOS 730, they came out with news. There's nobody trading in it. It's up 45%. Went from almost just a few thousand volume all the way to 2.8 million people trading it pre-market. So the day trading stuff is usually mob mentality, herd mentality. So people jump in from one trade to another trade and they'll leave one trade, which will cause a sell-off and just jump to where the action is. So that's why there's a little bit of pullback here on CARA right now. But if in 8 minutes, if they don't come up with a news press release, I'm just gonna end the uh, end the live and just kind of keep an eye on it. You see here, see the red, a little bit of sell off. People closing positions. Some people close their positions and want to jump into the next hot stock right now, which is BVOS. Uh, let's see. They might just come out with news because there's some weird action. You see here, the bid now is 1460 and the ask is 1539. And I don't, no one, I mean, 1539, no one's paying 1539 for it yet. But it is kind of having some weird action. It shows I'm up $800. It was a little spike. So maybe at 7 a.m. they probably are going to have their news release. That's why it's kind of having a little bit of this price action. So it's now trading 1470 is the bid, 1539 is the ask. So it's $15 now. Okay. So we've reached our price target. It's trading at right now. If I can close my position at $15 if I wanted to. But I'm gonna hold out a minute. I'm gonna hold out and wait. It's right now it's 6:54. So I'm just gonna wait for 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern, just to see if they have a news press release on their medication that they have. And the medication that they have, it's not nothing super innovative. I think it's a medication that they have for people that are taking dialysis. They get kind of like this itch, and it's kind of like a medication to help that. But it's getting some volume right now. Volume is increasing, it's starting to spike. It's at 15.11. So we've reached our price target. I'm up $920. This was on a 290 share position. So we've reached our price target, which is great. 12.20, it's up $3. So I didn't anticipate it moving up this quickly without any news yet. So I mean, I kind of want to close my position, but I'm just curious to see the news that comes out in 5 minutes. But I might scale down. So I have 290 shares. I might just sell 90 shares really quick here while it's up over 15. I want to be greedy. Like I said, initial price target was 14.80 when we first made this video. So it's already past our price target. Oh, here, gotta switch to ARCA LS to sell pre-market. Okay. So I've locked in some profit right now. I've sold 90 shares of my 200 because I just wanted to follow the plan. I mean, the plan was when I made this video live at $12.20 was 14.80. It's reached 14.80. So this is what I took $256 profit so far off those 90 shares, and I'm still up. I still have 865 with my or I'm sorry, I have $609 with the remaining 200 shares, and I just took $255 with those 90 shares. So altogether, that would be 865 if I close my whole position. So this trade pretty much worked out. It's 3 minutes left. I really do think at 7 a.m. they're going to finally have their news press release, and I think maybe that's why there was that little spike. The spike just came out of nowhere. Just a whole bunch of volume came in. There's like 20,000 people, 10,000, 20,000, 10,000 volume. Just came in that bar. So somebody knows something, I would imagine, to cause that spike in volume. And it's at 15.12 right now. When I sold the 200 shares, I think I sold it at 15.02. So, but I just sold 90 shares just because it reached the price target. And I don't want to be too greedy, but I'm going to put in this here to sell my 200 shares, and just going to see what it does. I'm going to put in the price 14.50. Now, the reason I'm doing that, pre-market, you can't market out of an order. You can't like hit market and get out. So if there's a big drop, you have to have a price in there. So if there's bad news and it just drops drastically, I'll jump out at 14.50, which is still great because I got in at 12.20. But I think there's going to be another little spike if the news is positive, and it's about 2 minutes left for the news. So hopefully we'll get another little spike, and we'll see what it does. So this is the news scanner. I pay a monthly subscription for this news scanner. It's not cheap. but it gives you kind of like minute to minute news. And just to show you the power of it, here at 7:30, VVOS came out with that they got FDA grant approval. And since that release, it spiked up 60%. So this is what day traders do. They subscribe to these, and they, you pay for it, but you treat it like a business, and you have an advantage. So, let me see. I think I'm gonna take another 50 shares off at $15. Okay. So now I have 150 shares left from the 290. Okay, so news coming out. Let's see. Let's see if CARA comes out with news. MXIM. If they don't come out with any news, probably just going to close my whole position and, be happy with what I got. If it spikes up later, it spikes up later. I'm fine with that. But I've already made great gains. Already been on for almost an hour, so if it doesn't come out now, then it's either come out at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Guess not yet. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna take another 50 shares off at 15. So I have 100 shares left. Currently made 536. Still have a potential $278 with my 100 shares. So you see here, the bid is 15. So if I wanted to jump out 15, the ask is 15.10. The 10 cents between the 15 and the 15.10, that's what we call the spread. And that's usually kind of, we look at that as risk, because if I wanted to jump in at 15.10, say, look, it dropped to 14.80. Now the bid is at 14.80, ask is at 15.02. 20 cent spread, which is huge. It's too much. You would have to jump in at $15 to get into this trade, because that's what they're asking. And if you wanted to sell, if you got in at $15, you could only sell to the first person 14.80. That's why people look at spread. They wouldn't jump into this trade because you jump in at 15, and if you wanted to jump out, it's a 20-cent loss. Pre-market people, or day traders, usually they're jumping in with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares, sometimes more. So 20 cents with 1,000 shares, it's $200. It's a big loss. But 14.80, we reached our price target. No news yet. So I don't know if I want to wait another 30 minutes for news. But the one in the middle is 537. That is the 190 shares that I sold. $278. That's the 100 shares remaining. And 815 is the total profit once I close the 100 shares. So those are the type of trades that we love to be in, just halal stocks, and jumped in small position of 290 shares. So it was a small risk, only risking a couple $100, but made possibly over 800 on the trade, unless it just drops like crazy. So it's not going to be no news release for another probably another 25 minutes. Companies will start releasing more news. You see here, drop down to 1460, 1495. That's why I started selling positions at $15, just in case it did this. So that way I already locked in like $530 off my 290 shares. So, that's kind of what I anticipated. It's a small risk. And, you kind of like basically doubled. So this is what I was selling at $15, anticipating a little bit of a drop, a little bit of a pullback here. But at this point, I'm just going to hold my last 100 shares. And this is what I was talking about when I made the last video. You hit your price target, sell a piece, sell it, I'm already green. There's no way that my last 100 shares are going to drop $5 and bring me down to zero for the $536 that I made already. So I'm going to end this video. I'm going to hold on to the 100 shares that I have and just kind of wait for that news release. So with the last 100 shares, let's say it drops down all the way to, see where support is here. You see here, tested 1395, 1399, 1399, 14, and it bounced off of that 3 times. It bounced off of $14. So that is the pre-market support. Actually 4 times. So here, $14. Here, $14. Here, about $14, and here dropped down to like $14. And 4 times it bounced off that $14. So if you have this is how you kind of like make your plan for day trading. You hit your profit target, which we did. Hit the profit target, passed our profit target. Profit target was 1480, went all the way up to 1540 at the high. So I started selling position at 15, and I got my profit. I sold 190 shares at $15, and now I have a remaining 100 shares. So what do I do with that? The plan is basically hold it for the news. If it drops, if it drops below 14, then I'm going to sell, because 14 was support 4 times. So since it bounced off of $14 4 times, people are going to buy shares at $14. Now, if they don't buy shares at $14, then it's going to crash quickly. So that's where I want to get out, at $14. But I'm doing this with the 100 shares remaining. I'm doing this with pure profit only. So right now, if it drops 80 cents to $14 with my 100 shares, that's an $80 loss. But it's not really an $80 loss because I got in at 12.20. It's an $80 off of profit. So you see here, let's see, I sold at 50 shares. I sold 50 shares at 15, 50 shares at 15.03, and 90 shares at 15.07. So we made the video, $12.20, price target of $14.80, and I got to sell above $15. So that's 20 cents above the price target, which is great. So now I'm holding basically 100 shares, and the plan is to hold 100 shares. We're already made $536. So the plan is to hold 100 shares, and if the price drops to $14 and $14 doesn't hold, then I'm gonna sell those 100 shares. But that's it. So that to me, in my mind, that is a perfect swing trade. Perfect swing trade. I'll do a quick recap here. Let's see. Pull up here. If you look here, click on this video here. If you're following me on YouTube, this was on August 2nd. We did this video. Hey, this is Juan from. So this was August 2nd. If you were following August 2nd, you would have gotten an alert for this video. Ticker symbol CARA. And I spoke of CRA. Let's see here. And they had a big drop because they didn't meet endpoints. Okay, so I gave just a little quick feedback. Dropped over 50%. You see here when I made the video. 12.20. Made the video, was trading at 12.20. So this is a good price for me right now. It's gonna get a review. Let me see. And I just put that it's a good swing trade. Okay, so you see here, I made this video August 2nd, just to give you an idea of swing trade when you have a plan, when you have what your execution is, and you also have an exit strategy. So here, I showed that, look, it's bouncing off the support, tested that lower bar here. So this lower bar here has proven to be support. And right now it's testing the support. So I was anticipating that with upcoming news coming, that it would, continue to bounce off support and reverse. So I said, good swing trade holding till the end of the month, which is right now because of the news coming today. Price target is $14.80, stop loss of $11.20. So that's $1 stop loss. And if I looked at past history, and $11.30 was kind of like support. So if it dropped there, then that would have been my exit. And that's why I took a 290 share position, because I didn't want to lose more than $300 on this trade, because I knew at $14.80, with 30 shares, you're possibly going to make a little bit over 800 if it spikes up there. So I'm risking about $200, $300 to make 800. And if we look here, we've reached our profit target, $14.80, but it hit a high of $15.40. I sold my positions at 15.03, 15.07, and I'm still holding on to 100 shares. So it's 7:13. If you're still holding position, like I said, I would, and if you're profitable, if you're not profitable, then sell some of your position right now. We hit our price target. Said $14.80. Don't try to be too greedy. Sell a portion of your stock. It's never a good idea to be too greedy. So you sell a portion and hold on to the other 100 till the news press release comes out. Well, so that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for joining. Um, I'll have another screenshot of final profit for this trade, and see you on the next trade.